today. How was your weekend?
It was very good. How was yours?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it's Monday already. It goes very quick, so
Yeah.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
Did you get up to much this weekend? Did you do a lot?
No, just stayed in, chilled. Didn't really do much. You?
No, I mean, as we always speak about on this Twitch channel, there's not really a lot that we can do. So no, just
Oh
kind of
yeah.
stayed in, did a bit of work over the weekend, and that was it really. So yeah.
Nice.
But what I'll do a little intro, and then we can kind of get into asking our guest today some questions. So hello and welcome back to the Arghon AI Twitch channel. My name is Jess and I am your host today. And as I just said, so I'm the only familiar face today. We've got someone with me today that you've never seen on the channel, but you may have heard us shout this person out quite a lot. So, your name is Ash, but
Yep.
normally you go by, what is your screen name?
Ashy D.
Ashley D95.
Ew.
So we thought what would be quite good is if we had Ashley D with us because you're like an OG fan. You're always commenting.
Yep.
Every
Mhm.
stream pretty much you're here commenting. So we thought it'd be really fun for today, especially with the Flags and Polls episode, to get, a special guest on. Again, it's quite nice because you're not a part of the Argon team, so it'd be quite interesting to see what you say. And rather than having to, type it out, you can actually be here for the world to see.
I know.
So, are you excited?
I am very excited. Thank you for having me.
No worries. It's kind of interesting having a fellow British person on because normally, I'm outnumbered. Normally got Lauren
Yep.
and Paula here. I miss you girls. I, you know, I saw you a minute ago anyway, but they're just not on stream with me. But no, as I said, today is Flags and Polls. And basically, what that is this stream basically focuses on made up scenarios. So it's not Argon, it's a made up scenario, just to clarify. And basically, this could be anything from discussing what decisions an AI would make, depending on certain situations, criteria is given, or it could be AI versus human. Who would win? Who knows?
Who knows?
But what's always really fun for me personally, and I always say it, is there is no right or wrong answers. Ash, I'm not sure if you feel the same, but I quite like the pressure not being there that that there is a right answer, that you can kind of just give your opinion and it's fine. So yeah, it's quite a fun episode to have you guest hosting with me today. So thank you so much for being here.
No,
I'm
thank
just
you.
going to quickly do all the shout outs as normal. So we do have social media, of course. So if you go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Argon AI, be sure to follow us on there. We've got some really cool content on there, so be sure to follow us. You'll get updates as well of the Twitch channel, etc. Be sure to follow us on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Argon AI. You will get notified every time we go live. It's always better to be a part of the conversation when it is live. Like Ashy D. I'm going to keep calling you Ashy D. Ash, even like Ash, he normally joins us every stream, comments along, and I'm sure you can vouch and say that it is better to be involved in the live stream.
It is much better.
Yeah.
Do it.
And then, of course, if you do miss it, we do have a videos tab on our Twitch channel, so go check that out. They do stay up for 2 weeks on the Twitch channel. Then when they expire, they do get transferred over to our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/Argon, be sure to subscribe there and you can watch all of our past streams there. So, are you ready to get started?
I am ready.
So I thought what would be quite nice, because people are not used to seeing you, that I could ask you some questions. Normally we do have a random question, but I thought it'd be quite nice because you're new to the Twitch channel. It'd be quite nice just to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like about our Twitch channel, the Argon AI Twitch channel?
Well, for me, it's just that everyone is so sort of down to earth. Everyone just makes the whole AI seem sort of natural.
Like the conversation?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the conversation is very natural. And it's just, everyone can have a laugh. We have serious moments,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I think that's one of the things. And again, just to clarify, we're not forcing Ash to say any of this. We just wanted to invite him on. As I said, as he does normally join us pretty much every single stream, it would just be nice to kind of have you on, get your opinions about this. So, yeah, that's one of the things that we try and purvey and just show that AI is for everyone. You don't have to have a degree or be involved in the tech industry necessarily just to even talk about AI. You can sort of get to know it and do all of that stuff. And actually, I forgot to mention, so if you go to arghon.com, which is at the top of the screen, you can actually download Arghon right now. It's free. And you can talk to Arghon like we're talking to each other now. And, it's really cool. You can give it certain permissions. And we describe Arghon as a lifestyle enhancing super companion because it can be there for you. It can learn about you the more information that you give it. So we definitely do recommend going to the website at the top, downloading Arghon right now. It is free. What do you have to lose? Nothing. And also, that's another reminder. So if you go to arghon.com/vision 2020, we do have an initiative which is also free, and you can sign up right now, completely free. You can get started right now. It's basically an initiative where we teach people how to code, or you can teach yourself how to code. So if you go to arghon.com/vision 2020, sign up. There's interactive lessons, there's videos on there that will get you started right now. You don't have to have any past experience. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to come from a certain background. You can start to learn to code right now for free. So definitely go check it out. So Ash, more questions for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite stream? So bear in mind, we started this literally the last few days of April. So we've been streaming for a few months now. So is there one stream, this is quite a hard question, is there one stream that kind of stands out to you that you're like, that was a great one?
Ooh, that is a very tricky one. I wouldn't say there's necessarily one stream in particular, but I do remember the conversation about Paula not liking the scary movies.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was talking about that. I can't remember which.
Was that to do with the storytelling? Was it that one? Yeah.
That is the one. Yeah.
And basically, we were imagining. So that was one of our Throwback Thursday episodes. And that basically is where we talk about a technology. It could be a way of life or a certain industry. We focus on that, and we go back. So we see how it was in the past, how it currently is, and how we imagine it with an AI like Arghon. And that basically, yeah, I hosted that one. It was about storytelling. And yeah, we basically were coming up, we kind of were, going off each other. And I think it was Lauren that was saying about imagine sort of bringing this storytelling to your own home, but in the fact of like you can have friends round, maybe it's like an audio book, but not only is it sort of reading the story, but it's connected. So like it's connected to certain devices in your home. So the Internet of Things. Again, granted, you've got to give it certain permissions, but imagine not only it reading the story to you, but then there's certain speakers in your home, or even it's connected to the lighting. And if it's a scary story, imagine like the lights start flickering. Like that is terrifying.
That is very scary.
Like I love horror movies and all that kind of stuff, but I think if I was by myself, don't think I could do it.
Yeah, that would be very, very spooky.
I just think as well, like you're in your home, so it's like that's your safe place. So if you have all of these things, you don't want the glass, like someone tapping on the glass.
No.
Scary.
So no, so in reference to your question, I think maybe the Throwback Thursday episodes are my favourite streams.
Oh, so you mean just like Throwback Thursday in general? You like that?
Yeah, in general, show? I think the throwback ones are very good.
Yeah, it's interesting because again, it's a bit different to a Monday because yeah, we kind of want to start the Monday off, you know, having a bit of fun. And then Thursday is kind of to go into much further detail into certain industries so we can kind of educate ourselves, you know, the people that are on the stream, but also everybody tuning in, and kind of show you know the development in these certain industries or ways of lives. And then kind of, yeah, imagine it with an AI like Arghon. Because I think the issue sometimes with artificial intelligence is that people are scared of it because they don't necessarily interact with it on a day-to-day basis. It's not, you know, involved in everybody's lives right now. And that's why we say try and get ahead by going to arghon.com and downloading it and sort of getting ahead of everybody and trying it now. But yeah, I think because people don't, they're scared of it. They're scared of change, which, you know, we're all human, we understand that. But I think, yeah, what's really interesting about Thursday shows is that, you know, we can kind of see how it was in the past and kind of show how much it's developed until now. And, you know, just enlighten people and show that AI is going to be a wonderful thing, or it is a wonderful thing that's really going to impact people's lives positively. So, yeah, good. We're glad that you enjoy the streams. We do really appreciate that you come every episode pretty much and show us support. So we do really appreciate it. Is there sort of any future topics maybe that you would like us to talk about? Like, again, like Throwback Thursday, is there a certain industry or way of life that we haven't necessarily like spoken about that you would be intrigued? Or if there is a topic, would you like us to go in, not in more depth, but maybe there's like another, I don't know, like, say for instance, like gaming, like if there was like an offshoot of that you'd want us to speak about, or just, yeah. Again, I know it's a tough question, I'm sorry.
It is a very tough question. I don't think I can actually think of one off the top of my head.
You're just basically saying that our content's just amazing. Anyway.
That's
No.
No, I can't think of one.
Okay, very well. You know, we always say, you know, on the stream. So if you're tuning in for another stream, let us know in the comments. Yeah. Everybody tuning in right now, let us know in the comments any future topics you would like us to speak about. Okay, one more, and then we will get started with flags and polls. Has this channel, because again, you've sort of been an OG fan, you've been there pretty much from the start, has this channel kind of changed your perspective around the AI topic? So do you feel any differently?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously, again, it's that sort of cliche of, oh, AI, take over the world, it's going to take your jobs, all those sort of, you know, feelings that people have.
Yeah.
But no, ever since obviously finding your channel, it's completely changed my mind and perception on AI and technology itself. So, yeah.
Yay, good. We're glad. Because again, that's what we want to do. We want to just show everybody that you can get involved. Again, you don't necessarily need to have a tech background or be involved in it to sort of know about it. So, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. It's nice getting to know you a little bit more. Obviously, you do tend to ask us some questions, which again we really appreciate. Yeah. So it's just kind of nice to be able to ask you questions for once. I know normally we do interact with you, and you do normally answer your own questions, but it is nice to sort of, have you on here and actually speak to you properly.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, right. So we will get started with the first scenario. So as I said, flags and polls basically is we focus on some interesting made-up scenarios about artificial intelligence. So again, just to clear up, it's not about Arghon. These are just made-up scenarios about made-up AIs. So yeah, be sure to let us know what you think of the scenarios as we go along. And again, there are no right or wrong answers, so do not feel pressured to say a certain thing. We're just going to discuss our answers here. Okay, so scenario 1. A person is looking for a personal shopper. Option A is a person her friend has recommended. However, she's never had a job, or sorry, option A has never had a job as a personal shopper before, but she has a degree in fashion design. Or you've got option B, that is an AI that the person can give the permissions to access their wardrobe, budget, etc. Who is the person going to pick and why? So again, it's not who we would pick, it's who this person, depending on this criteria, would actually pick. So they're looking for a personal shopper. So option A is a person her friend has recommended. She's never had a job as a personal shopper before, but she's got a degree in fashion design. Or it's an AI that, again, once you give it permissions, it's got access to the wardrobe, budget, etc. Who do you think this person would pick?
Ooh, I would like to say AI,
Mm.
purely because obviously the AI has access to your wardrobe, your likes and dislikes, and obviously main thing is obviously I think on everyone's mind would be budget.
Yeah.
It's obviously money. Yeah, I think AI.
See, yeah, it's interesting because that's the thing. I'm thinking my bias is coming out because I'm like AI, because again, it's like they've got it, given, the AI permission, it can literally have access to your whole wardrobe, budget, etc. And sort of know these things without having to then pass it on to another person. Like your AI has the information, and again, it's not like you're having to speak to someone about it. But again, it's not what I would pick, it's what this person would pick. So it's hard because I kind of feel like they would be more inclined to go for option A because their friend knows somebody. So I think they're more inclined to sort of believe a friend.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like this person literally has like no history with fashion. Like they've got a fashion degree, but again, what kind of fashion degree? Like that could be so many different things.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't sort of, it's quite vague with the fashion degree. It's very vague. Like
that's what these scenarios always are. Sometimes they're very broad, so you have to kind of let your imagination go. Again, it's hard because depending on when we're talking about, because depends how developed AI has become. So maybe in a future where you've got AI is a part of everyday life for every single person on the planet, you would be more inclined because AI is one of those things that makes processes more streamlined. So again, it's I find very much like now, even with after a pandemic especially, it's sort of like people don't really want to talk to anybody anymore. They would sort of rather kind of have the information on their phone because it's easier for them.
Everything's online.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be kind of a bit awkward, and I'm kind of gonna give two answers. So I think if it's in the future where people are more in, they use AI every day, and that's a part of everyday life. I think they would pick the AI because again, it's such an ease of access that you've got everything that basically you don't even need to look at your phone. You can basically just speak to the AI and it's going to know, right, let me see what you've got in your wardrobe already. I already know your sizes. I know your budget. I know all of these things, rather than, again, having to pass that on to a person who they've never been a personal shopper before. They might forget this information,
They could get different and wrong sizes. There could be, a whole host of problems that come with passing on that information.
I just thought of another thing as well. Like, imagine for option A, okay, you're in fashion design, fine. But would that person's own bias start to come out because they might not? So, for instance, I could tell this person, right, so this is my style, this is this is what I want to wear, this is what I like. But they might have their own bias where they're like, oh, maybe I don't think that's right. So I'm going to choose these outfits that I think suit your body type. So, yeah. So I feel like if it's in the future, when everybody's using AI, that is a part of everyday life for everybody, I feel like the person would pick option B, the AI, because again, it's just easy. And again, it can happen in real time that this AI could basically find all these outfits like that done. And again, can potentially find you deals and, you know, save you money. Whereas now, I feel like someone would be more inclined to trust someone their friend has recommended, just because people don't. This is why we're on this channel, is to kind of open eyes and kind of get that conversation of AI going. So I think if it was now, they would pick the person. But if it was, you know, like 5 years, I think 5-10 years, they would pick their AI. That's what I'm saying.
In the future, yeah, definitely.
So are you going to stick? Are you going to go with?
No, I think I'm going to stick with my original answer.
So you would think?
Sort of fair to stick with the original. So I'm going to say, yeah, B.
You're going to go for the AI?
Should be, yeah, AI.
So you more, why do you think you're more inclined to pick the AI? Why do you think the person would pick it?
Well, I think if it's, again, maybe it's a generational thing, but say if it was a younger person who was more into technology and all that sort of stuff, then I think maybe, you know, it's just the same as with people getting, you know, brand new phones,
Yeah,
anything like that, and keeping up with all the latest technology and gadgets. I think maybe it's a generational thing, and I would say that they would trust the AI and the technology.
I think that's fair. I do. Yeah, I see your point, and I think, yeah, yeah. But I'm still gonna stick. I'm gonna say if it was right now, I think they would choose the person, and then if it's like 5-10 years, I think they would pick the AI, just because I feel like people still they don't trust AI yet, and I'm just still waiting for that clueless closet type thing. I'm waiting for it, so I'm excited for when that does happen. So I'm kind of being one of those awkward on the fence a little bit, but that's what I'm going to go with anyway. So thank you very much for your answers, Ash. Right, are we ready for scenario 2? Look at you with your Raiders cup. And have you got a Raiders jersey on as well?
I do.
So you're a Raiders fan.
I am.
It's interesting that we're the two British people on here, and the Americans are not on, and you're wearing an NFL. Is that like a little shout out to them?
It might be.
You are used to seeing them. It's not normally just me that you're speaking to. No. Yeah, I'm a Bears fan, so I can't agree with your choice in jersey or cup. But you know, you're sticking with it. I like it. I appreciate it. That's fine.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, right. Scenario 2. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So 2 burger restaurants located next to each other are both competing for a national record to get the most amount of orders taken in 5 hours. Both restaurants can seat up to 100 guests at one time. Restaurant 1 has a team of 10 order takers. Restaurant 2 has a tablet AI waiter at every table, meaning the customers can place their own orders. Who would get the most orders? Why? Do you want me to go back through the criteria once more?
We go through once more. Yeah.
Yep. So there's 2 burger restaurants located next to each other. They're competing for a national record to get the most amount of orders taken in 5 hours. Both restaurants can seat up to 100 guests at one time. So restaurant 1 has a team of 10 order takers. So effectively, 1 per 10 guests. Yeah, I hope I said that right. And then restaurant 2 has a tablet AI waiter at every table, meaning the customers can place their own orders. Who would get the most orders? Why?
Oh, no, I think for me, again, I think I'm going to stick with the AI and the technology. Purely because, again, back when there maybe, you know, wasn't a pandemic going on right now. If you, you know, say if you went to a restaurant and you placed an order sometimes it's always, again, it's human error, but your order might be something completely different to then what the waiter has written down, brings back to you, and then basically, you've just got to restart your whole order again, and
that's even, yeah, that's more time that they've then got to redo the order. So then that means they're slightly behind, because they potentially, by the time that they got their correct order, they could have then moved on to another guest.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think I might have to go for the AI with this one as well, purely because, yeah, I think it's, with AI as well, it's sort of like, it helps make things easier. So the point that you were trying to make was, that having 10 order takers, that is quite a lot for one restaurant. Normally, I think depending on how big the restaurant is, normally you would only have like a few order takers. So they've got 10. So they know that they're like ready to bring their A game. However, as you said, there's still human error. So, there could be, they've misheard, they haven't reiterated the information, they've brought the order out, they've forgotten something, or potentially, it's not right, so the customer's not happy, so then they've got to go redo it, meaning that takes more time. So, yeah. And, as much as AI can make mistakes too, however, if it is an AI waiter at a table, again, it's like people, they're going to order for themselves. And I think what's quite interesting is that the AI waiter, just like human waiters, order takers, can sort of make recommendations. But, I think if people, again, it depends on if they know if they're a part of a challenge or not. Because I think if they know that they're competing in this national challenge, they would like sit down. I'm the type of person also, if I go to a restaurant, I look up the menu before. So potentially, people, both restaurants could have done that. So they could race in, quickly put their order into the tablet, the AI waiter, and then out comes their food. Okay, can pay at the table through the AI waiter, go. Where again, if it's a restaurant full of humans, potentially it could be a little bit slower. Also, those order takers have got to deal with other tables as well. It's not just,
I think there's definitely room for more sort of, human error. So
yeah, but I think it just helps with the timing of things. I think it's just more efficient to have the AI waiter at every table, because again, people can come in, do their orders, do all of that, eat, pay at the table, get all of that sorted and go. Where with restaurant one, you've then got to be seated by a human, you've then got to wait for your order to be taken by a human. If they get it right, fine, but still they might be busy with other tables. So then you've got to wait for them to become free for you to then pay. But I guess it kind of depends on the rules and regulations of this record. Because is it like, oh, they can just order one drink and that counts? That counts? Or is it just food? Yeah, I feel like it would have to just be food, surely.
Yeah, I would have thought yeah.
Because you could literally get like all of your friends to come in, order drinks, and then leave, and then that counts. But it depends.
That's true.
But no, I think, like, aside from the actual, competition or the record, I think, yeah, having an AI waiter at a table, again, it kind of links in with what we were speaking about in the first scenario, that, I've noticed the last few years with this generation, people don't really like talking to one another anymore. So I think even for people going out now, and sort of going to restaurants, would kind of help kind of in the pandemic, but you'd have to make sure that it gets sanitized every time someone leaves. But yeah, just even thinking about it in that way, that you're reducing human contact, the spread of disease. Of course, again, as I just said, you would have to make sure that it gets cleaned every time, customers would leave. But the fact that, yeah, you don't have to deal with another person, You can literally just have this tablet, order as you go. Because I think there's a few like Japanese restaurants and stuff that does that, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it makes it more efficient. As much as I can see that a lot of people would think it's a bit sad, because some people do go to restaurants for the atmosphere, to sort of, interact with the staff. Um, but I just think, how cool would that be to have an AI literally at your table? As I said, you can order as much as you want on the go, you can pay at the table, but even being able, let's say in the future, to link your AI up to this tablet. So again, it knows your allergens, it knows what you like, it knows all this different kind of stuff, so it can just give you recommendations based off of all that information that you've given it. I just think that's really exciting and really cool.
That is very,
and it almost, yeah, is going to sort of like change the hospitality industry. Yeah,
it really will.
But I think that's really cool. But I think definitely Restaurant 2 would win. I just think,
yeah,
streamlined. As I said, people can kind of come in and go. You don't have to worry about human error, and all of that. And I just think it would be so much quicker. And I think they could deal with a lot more people. Because if you've got literally, that's like, for instance, saying you've got a human waiter at every single table in that restaurant. You've got an AI waiter at your table that is ready to, serve you when you are ready. Again, it's not about trying to flag down a waiter that's potentially stuck at a different table, dealing with a complaint or whatever. Your AI is right there that can then deal with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to stick with my answer. Yeah.
AI, definitely. No, I think definitely it would just be quicker, it'd be easier. Yeah, Restaurant 2. It's burger restaurants. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, it's not, obviously it'd be, I don't know how it would be if it was like a fully AI restaurant. Imagine that. That would be literally insane.
That would be that would be mind blowing.
That's like way into the future. Like,
yeah.
But again, if you think about it, in Japan, they have certain, it's not AI, but there's certain like robots and stuff that they have that can kind of create or like make certain foods and stuff like that. So, imagine sort of adding AI onto that. That would be incredible and absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting. It is really exciting.
It's very exciting, it is.
But yeah, that is kind of it for the scenarios. I don't know if you have any more comments on the scenarios at all.
No, I just think it is very interesting that obviously, it is a possibility in the future, like as you were saying about the, fully artificial run restaurants. I think that's still it really is just mind blowing that actually could be, a possibility in the future.
Well, that's the thing, I guess, because again, as humans, we get very stuck in, the way we think, in the way that we are. We like to have structure, routine. So I think it is quite hard for people when, they don't know anything about AI, and that's no fault of their own, that it is a really weird concept to think, in the future, you can have like fully AI run restaurants. Obviously, there would be human need in there to give the data to, train these AIs, to perform the best that they can at the job. So I think, it is a really like mind-blowing concept, because again, we're so used to, maybe not right now, because again, we're in a pandemic, but when you can go to restaurants, you're so used to it being a certain way and receiving a certain kind of service that, it is. I think it's going to revolutionize the hospitality industry when we get to that kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's always exciting, and as you know, we always love talking about food on this Twitch channel. So it's exciting. It is really exciting. But yeah, just to kind of explain, so the scenarios kind of align today, sort of. And there's a reason for that. So as the weeks go on, what we're trying to do now is try and Basically the Throwback Thursday topics, we're trying to sort of link it with the flags and polls on a Monday. And yeah, so Throwback Thursday, a little spoiler for everyone. Ash, a little spoiler for you if you tune in on Thursday. We're going to be talking about store greetings and cashier and that kind of stuff, and how basically, again, how it was in the past, how it is now, and how we can see like an AI like Arghon basically changing that whole experience. So yeah, you've got a little taste of it today. You know, even talk about service in a restaurant, how much that could be different with an AI, or even, you know, a personal shopper, how that potentially could be different with AI. So I'm really looking forward to this Thursday's episode. I think it's going to be really fun. It's slightly different. We have talked about shopping before, but I think it is going to be slightly different than what we've done before. So really looking forward to that. So yeah, unless Ash, you have any other comments, scenarios are done. So I'm probably going to wrap up unless you have any other comments.
No, I just want to thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for joining us. It was a little bit short notice, so thank you again for kind of jumping on. We do really appreciate it, and I think again you're helping getting this conversation out there, because it really does show that everybody can be involved in AI. As I've said, you know, you don't have to be from a certain background, have a certain degree. You know, everybody can get involved in this conversation. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
But yeah, so all of these scenarios I've spoken about today, as I said, these are just made up scenarios. It's not necessarily about Arghon. However, with an initiative that we've got, so Vision 2020. So if you go to arghon.com/Vision 2020, basically you can learn to code, and it's not just regular code, it's coding for AI, which is incredible. You can basically sign up right now. It's free, does not cost a thing. There's no hidden charges. You know, it's completely free. You can get started right now. You can begin upskilling your life. So these scenarios that are made up today, you can potentially learn to code and program Arghon to do these things for you. So it sort of makes, you know, these made up scenarios real. You know, you can make games on there. You can do all these crazy, wonderful things. So again, don't feel like because you don't fit within the stereotypical AI tech bracket that you can't get involved, because honestly, you really can. It's going to revolutionize the world. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, you go to arghon.com/Vision 2020, learn to code, absolutely free, upskill your life today. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. But while you are there, if you go to arghon.com, download Arghon and try it out for yourself. You know, you can talk to it as we've been speaking throughout this stream. You know, if you want Arghon to go through cooking a recipe, it can be your super companion in walking you through a recipe. You know, it can help you with your day-to-day schedule. It can, you know, flight track. It can do all these amazing, wonderful things. So if you go to arghon.com, download it, try it out for yourself. It's going to change your world, and let us know what you think. But yeah, that is it for today. So thank you again, Ash. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No.
We look forward to interacting with you more through the chat, through our streams. But yeah, if you are like Ash, you enjoy our streams and potentially want to be on, just let us know. So if you go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, @ArghonAI, follow us there. DM us, let us know if there's any, you know, topics you would like us to speak about on a future stream, or even, you know, the scenarios that I've presented today. If you DM us, let us know what your friends and family thought about it. Get the conversation going. But yeah, be sure to friend us, follow us on Twitch. You get notified every time we go live. You can join in live as the conversation goes on, which is better. If you do miss it, go to the videos tab on our Twitch channel. You can watch past streams there. They're up there for 2 weeks, then they expire. Once they expire, they get transferred over to our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/Arghon, subscribe, watch all the past streams there. But that is it for Flags and Polls today. We will be back. Not you, Ash, unfortunately, sorry. But it will be me, Lauren and Paula will be back on Thursday for Throwback Thursday. And that is 8 p.m. British summertime or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for everyone tuning in. And Ash, thank you so much again. I will see you on Thursday. Bye.